going, everybody? Ben Cheese Grater here with you. It's Wednesday morning. I'm running a little behind, but I had to do my morning scratchers. Trying to make some money. Cashed in on tokens. Let's see it. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think another $5 card. So that's like $17. All of which are gonna go to my Amazon account, of course, because the PayPal ones just disappear too fast, or you need like crazy amounts in order to get them. So I figure I'll send it to Amazon and I'll be able to buy shit that way. Right now I'm waiting for Neverwinter to load up. Here we go. I never have a second for you, my dear. What? I guess so. Yep. In about 5 minutes, I'm going to have to step away to move my car so Lily can leave. She gonna go hang out with her mom for a while I'm streaming. Normally she's gone by now when she does leave, but didn't know what she wanted to do today, so it'll be a small interruption in a few minutes, but that's okay. Still gonna be a small interruption, but like I said, that's okay. Alright, so who am I gonna play today? Today is going to be Sneaky Pants, I think. Yes, we'll play Sneaky Pants again today. As you know, I am recording, so it's Sneaky Pants. I finally found the setting section in OBS to not auto-record everything. So, there we go. And as always, I am on my Bent's live stream voice chat in the Hall of Fun. If you are a member of the Hall of Fun and you want to chat, then get your ass in here and say hello. Alright, now, if I remember correctly, I am Reclamation Rock. Is that where I am? No. I'm not in Reclamation Rock. Take that off. I'm in the Drowned Shore. Show of Force. Defeat crushing wave forces in the Drowned Shore. Complete a heroic encounter. Alright, well, let's do some invocation here. And I'll get on my horsey. No idea where I'm going now. Let's see. Subterranean Surge over there, huh? Challenge and defeat the Tide Master. I guess I can go over that way. Let's see what's going on. No enemies. Odd. Or like, it's too dry here. challenge the Tide Master. Wow. That was easy. Kinda like this music. Am I just walking through here killing things for the hell of it, or what now? Probably, right? Oh, that was the caravan removed. Alright, so this is interesting. These caverns keep repopulating. It's interesting that they keep repopulating. I kind of like that. As long as I'm getting experience for them, it's all good. Experience and loot, experience and loot. As long as I'm getting experience and loot. Neener, neener, neener. Neener, neener, neener. Oh. And people can come in and run around as... That's interesting. They're not in my party, but I get to see them. Alright, let's clear that now. Ride on my horsey, ride on my horsey, right past all these trolls. So, got to watch the season, the first episode of season 2 of The Rookie the other night. Good show, good show. I like it a lot.
My rangers have reported the lizard folk are in chaos.
And looks like Lily is almost ready to go.
Thank you for all your help. Our camp has been resupplied. The cult will lose its main source of ore, and you've angered the cultists by destroying their emblems. they've reacted by sending one of their top cultists, Morgan Shivertimber, to eradicate us. Our rangers have spotted Shivertimber and a large group of cultists gathering in the mine, known as Goldseeker's Folly. I'd like to see you confront this Shivertimber and see if you can find out any more information about the cult's activities.
Isn't that who I just fought? Shivertimber? When I have a minute, I never have a minute. I'm always busy. Alright, let me get to a safe place where enemies aren't going to be attacking me every 2 or 3 minutes. Oh, and of course, you're not seeing anything here, folks, because I didn't move it to the Neverwinter. What an idiot. So silly. Okay. Safe little camp spot right here. Alrighty. I will be right back. Oakley dokley. I am back. Let's see. Did I disappoint anybody? I have no idea. Am I being hosted? Nope. Okay, that's fine. Let's get back to the game. Here we go. Ooh, treasure! Yay! Treasure, 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 treasure. Treasury, treasury, treasure. Treasure, 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 treasure. Treasury, treasury, treasure. Hee hee ha ha ho ho. Simple dimple pimple gimple. Let's get a little closer there. I was backed out pretty far. Go. I'm glad I bought a bunch of those kits and whatnot. Definitely.
I'll get a nice spot in Black Dagger Keep if I kill ya.
Well, I ended up not even being the one that killed her. Oh, actually, my grounded daggers were, yeah. Seriously, they came back during the fight? Wow. Well. I remember this one, saving those prisoners and whatnot. Yeah. Do-do-do-do. Fighting at level 64. We go.
Morgan Shivertimbers. You have done so much to help the Emerald Enclave. You need to meet with Harper Avery.
That's right, I had started the Elemental Evil campaign of stuff, and that I have not done with Zelkar yet. Ha ha ha.
Has anyone seen Devon? Should have reported in by now.
That's the Black Dagger Ruins and whatnot. Alright, so let's see, where's this show of force thing? Okay, so we gotta go that way. Guys seem a little tough for being, you know, level 61 and all. Okay, let's go back over that way and destroy the ballista munitions. Actually needed to go up there, because apparently I missed something over here. So let's back around. Must be up in here then. Yep, that ballista there. Okie dokie. Actually, come over here a moment, and I need to pull up my internet. Whispering Caverns from the Drowned Shores. Okay, so looking at my map. There's one over there, and it's up here. So let's go back and get that then, shall we, while we're looking at it? It's right there. Now, did I already get that? No, I don't think so. Yeah, I might have.
Be ready to rack up.
resolution notice.
Blasted Blizzard Vault claim jumpers.
Those hags give me nightmares.
Be prepared to evacuate the non-combatants through the tunnel.
Yeah, that's from my PayPal account that I had put under one of my
Any word from
my
Hawkins?
assumed name or stage name, not realizing that it needed my legal name. So when I tried to get money transferred and whatnot, it wouldn't let me because it wouldn't accept my ID. I don't have legal ID saying my old stage name, Wildman J. So, yeah. I'm not going to be able to get that $8 and some odd change. Okay, so where do I want to head? Do I want to head up top? Alrighty. Message from the little lady. Guess I'll head over there first. Which is the direction that I'm heading. No. What's going on here? We need to go this way. What the fuck is going on?
Raiders prey on innocents.
The Black Dagger bandits were back. Oh, you must be the adventurer who destroyed the ballistae. We were getting...
Those creatures got everything. My name is Ranulph Kemp. I represent several trade associations. Or I did, until I was strangled.
Whatever it takes. The harbor. Zoliana's chief concern is the destruction of the but I believe we must also focus on rescuing those who
Okay,
were
so
held captive
this
by
is
the
how you
monsters.
get there.
The
Like a
green
little
hags have
ramp
taken
or
several
whatever to go
captives
through.
and plan on drowning them to begin the
so let's get into here and accept these going on. Okay, so we'll go this way. So, how's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Cheesy Channel. That is Ben Cheese Breeders. Got a free 3 captives. So I guess we're following the Rainbow Starry Trail to do that. Bum 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 dum 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 dum. Freed 2 captives. Is there like a third one here that I'm missing? I see 2 stakes. Okay. Is there another circle? Okay, yeah. So there's different spots. Okey-dokey. Nonner, nonner, neener, neener. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
The enemy speaks your name in fearful whispers.
Not a thing in my mission least not that I'm aware of. There's no room at the inn. Defeat the cultists and free the slave captives from the Lacedons. Interesting stuff here. Alright, so let's check my map. There's all sorts of stuff going on down here. Merchants in distress, cultist ambush. Yeah, I guess I'll head over that way. Actually, might as well get the rewards from these guys while I'm right here, right?
Nice work. Emerald Enclave. Good intelligence is a must. Be successful in our fight against the Crushing.
Boop-a-doop-a-doop-doop-doop-doop-doop. great success. Let's just keep going, shall we? Oh, some of the rangers and stuff, right?
The keep is crawling with aquatic humanoids and crushing wave cultists. But I'm not sure what they have planned. They mostly seem to be in the middle of the route, waiting for something to happen. Oh, and they've been stealing wares from any merchants traveling nearby. I've written it all down just as Lanric requested. Now you best be on your way before the enemy spots us here.
Getting lots of loot. Getting lots of loot. Getting lots of loot. Kicking all the enemies' ass. Kicking all the enemies' ass. Getting lots of loot. That is what I'm made to do. Kicking ass and taking names.
Keep your voice low, friend. The Lacedomes are swarming like flies around this tomb. The cultists seem to be stepping up their effort to create undead soldiers, probably due to the losses they have suffered. I've written it all down in this report. They've resorted to pillaging from nearby merchant caravans to keep themselves supplied. Please get it to Lanric as soon as you can. And watch your back. We can't afford to lose you.
There's no end to these Your efforts seem to have upset the Crushing Wave's raiding operations. They have abandoned their far-ranging raids, and are now focusing on highway robbery and reinforcing the shore around the Fountain of Delights. I've detailed everything I've witnessed in this report for Lanric. We'll be eager to get this, I'm sure.
Okay, let's look at the map here. Clear that point. So I'll turn around and head over there. Sea elves just hang out here, huh? Okay.
You ready to rack up a body count?
Alrighty, let's actually check out. Oh, I haven't pulled them up because those things are. Wrong way. I guess I'll head for that. See where that takes me. Pillaging of the pillagers. Sounds like it could be fun. That was a little intense. Just a little. These guys kind of look like vampires. No, they're not and all, but they kind of look it. Hello, Bruiser. Goodbye, Bruiser. Keep it a sheets. What the heck? I can't get over there. There's really no way to get over there. Okie dokie. Lots of loot. Well, I really have no idea where I'm going right now. Oh, I know where I'm going. Ranger rescue again. Cultist ambush. That was only 2 hits, you fucking douchebags. Okay, so it's all return, return, return. Really? You ugly little shitbirds. Oh, and I've been to the I think I've been to the areas that let's see. No, that one's all the way up there, right? And oh, that's down on the ground though. The third one's way over there, which I haven't been to yet. Boigas. Alright. Yeah, it looks like it's like there somewhere. Alright, so we're gonna don't need that anymore. Let's go back there, get some rewards. I like how they're able to hit me when I'm on the run and like nowhere near them. They don't have exactly ranged attacks, and there wasn't 3 of them to do it. 6 of them now. Okay, so let's get over to those guys who are over here. Watch as I come through, these guys are going to show up. Dumbass motherfucker, excuse me. Dumbass motherfucker, don't attack on me. If you think you're smart,
Whatever
I
it
don't
takes.
think you are.
I'm relieved all
Attacking
the
me
Rangers
is a
are
death
alive.
wish.
You ask me,
Stupid dumbass.
Those creatures got everything. Thank you. I lost more than
Kill
goods and
Maelstrom,
money
the
when my
Render, and
caravan was
Mossy Meg
attacked.
within
I
the
lost
drowned
friends
shore.
and associates. I'm only a traveling merchant, not some gallant knight. I still want vengeance for this
You
wrong.
would never know it.
The leader of the raiders was a cultist they called Maelstrom. She was with 2 others, a hag called Mossy Meg and a creature called Render. Lanric has found the 3 locations where these 3 are wandering about. End them to ensure no one else experiences the pain of losing their friends.
We must drive them from the fortress.
Where'd you shitbirds come from? Now you're fucking dead, a dagger to your head. I said motherfucking lay down before I kill you dead. Okay, gotta go to these things and challenge them, huh? Sending me on wild goose chases. Die, green hag. Neener, neener, neener. Neener, neener, neener. Neener, neener, neener. Neener, neener, neener. Neener, neener, neener.
I hope Maelstrom will rot in the abyss.
Caravan vengeance complete.
This should help send
I am
Some
most
new
pleased to see you again. The cultists were not deterred by losing Udo Stone's
pencil
mind.
with something wave.
The Black Dagger Band. Your work has weakened the cultists enough that we were able to discover a way in, which would be through the front door.
Our agents
Not
should be
ex-
reporting in soon.
Okay. Sell. Cannot sell. Can't sell that. Oh, guess not. Could sell those, but they were fun to destroy. I think I got plenty of potions, a bunch of that stuff, so I guess I'm good. Let's see here. Alright. It's a lot of bodies.
Everyone pipe down. The enemy is everywhere.
Alright, so let's head to Black Dagger Keep then. Bum, bum, bum. Silly sea trolls. Silly, silly, silly. Silly, silly, silly. Silly, silly, silly. Keep on heading on down the road. Keep on heading on down the road. Fighting enemies on the road. Keep on heading on down the road. Burn the supplies. Yeah, what was that? Certainly some weird glitchy graphics on that one. Like that bastard had some wings or something. Racking up the body count. 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 Racking up the bodies. Racking up the bodies. Racking up the bodies. Racking up the bodies. Racking it up. Looks like there isn't much left in here, but going this way. Entering the Hag's Hold. Need to check something. Nobody's watching. And I'm hosted on 12 channels. Alright. So, back on over here. Come on. There we go. No opening those doors this time, alright. No illusions? Okay, no illusions. Ooh. Saluna Ma. Not what I meant to do. What a dumbass. Shoal Reaver. Nice play on words. Ooh. Dungeoneer. Oh, nature. Yes, nature. Nature kit broke. No! Really? Oh, nothing over there. So now what are we doing? We're gonna head back? There must be another... Hang on. Okay, so those are both done. More heroic things and more killing. Alright, well... Guess it's time to head on back. Somebody recently came through. I'm sure I will defeat plenty of them on the way. Okay, I'm now noticing that I've been playing for 2 hours and Me6 has not popped up any of my media or anything in that 2 hours, and it's supposed to do it every half hour. What the fuck is going on with Me6 not popping my shit up? Of course.
I am most pleased to see you. Now we could see the flames rising from here. Without this...
The Black Dagger Band. It was a trap set by... You've done so much to help the... One of our agents, Nora...
claim my
Maybe I
rewards.
should have opened a tavern or something.
We should have destroyed the keep when we had the chance.
Having a feeling like this whole area is part of the Elemental Evil campaign. Aha. Kill crushing wave cultists in the Broken Crown Inn and Drowned Shore and learn what you can from Nora Bright.
I'm glad you're here, my friend. You get things done.
These cultists are all madmen.
I'm going to abandon that.
Lunatics come from.
Hello, Mr. Spork. What is going on with you? Finally, somebody has joined and started watching. It's been awfully quiet the first 2 hours. Did I just get bit by something? Nope. Okay. And, okay, I did not miss you by much. You're coming up different color, though. Alright, here we go. Well, hello, you big bad brutes. So I'm in this, the Drowned Shores here, and did not realize that there is a lot to do to this Elemental Evil campaign. I think that's what I had started doing with Sneaky Pants here. See, I'm gonna wait on doing this with Zelkar, though. There's just a lot to do in the Drowned Shores. Yeah, well, it's just a lot of quests running back and forth and everything. A bunch of optional stuff too, which it's fun and interesting, but there's just it seems to be a lot more than what is in a normal map area.
I was hoping Seven Toes would realize something was wrong. I was sloppy in my last message, and the cultists discovered me. A group of sea elves had launched an attack against the cultists with the aid of a god named Harris. I've been monitoring their camp from here, and they seem to have more knowledge about Gar's activities. I'll remain here. If you want to know more, try to approach God Harris. The sea elves appear to trust him, though I don't know why.
Hmm? The sea elves seem to trust him. And these guys just chilling over here, the sea elves. A little weird. That elemental thing just sitting there. Oh, where am I going? Okay. Let's go this way then. Follow that person up there. That's where I'm heading, aren't I? Oh
These
no,
elven
that's the
folk saved
Zent
me from
agent.
a water finder.
Yeah.
Some help.
Water in a
Sea elves wanted
flask.
me to
Capture
several
enchanted
flasks
flask
from
from the
the
cult of the
cultists.
crushing
I
wave.
didn't think much about
Okay.
it, but now it makes sense. These all must be used in some...
I greet you on behalf of Alu Tel Kesir.
Archon
Harris has
Anarchy.
spoken to you
Destroy
about the
water
water metal. You
elementals.
should know what it is. The water metal serves as a
Alright.
portal to the elemental plane of water.
There's you over here.
Old Highland.
You ready to rack up a
Finally killed 400 of them. Curbing the cult. Complete. Yeah, you were given it's optional stuff. There's a bunch of different things, missions and whatnot that you can go to and fight. Well, the first time I did it, it was 3. The second time I chose it, there were 6. Alright, I'll keep going with it. Why not? Because it's probably the same thing. It's going to say 6 of them, right?
Our kin must be warned away from these shores.
Yep, 0 of 6. Water in the flask, so that's a big. Archon Anarchy, slave 12. It's like 20 of them. Get 20 of those. Yeah, we'll just do that. No rooms at the end, that's one of them. Ah, that's not what I wanted to do. See, like, that's one of them, save the ranger. That's one of the 6 different things. I don't think I'm actually going to be able to make it there in time, but let's try and see what we can do. Even though this one's right here, I still got time to get back to that one. Oh yes, and Neverwinter recruitment. If you create a new character before October 31st and get it to level 70, all sorts of nifty little rewards and whatnot you get. Gray Haster was telling me about that on Monday. Unfortunately, I do not want to get rid of one of my 2 85th level characters. And I do not have the money to be buying character slots, so... Oh well, doesn't look like I'll be participating in that Neverwinter's recruitment. As much as I'd like to. Go to the calendar, it shows you all those events and whatnot. I didn't know that, I never really paid attention to it. Still, as much as I have played and as long as I've been playing on and off since beta, I still don't know nearly as much as I probably should for playing this game. And the saving the ranger thing is right over here. Yep, I waited too long. He would be sitting like right here. Took me too long to get there. 5 minutes to get back to that one. Should have just done the one that I was next to, you know? Hey, he's got a toadstool thingy. Should have just stayed where I was and did that encounter. Bop, 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 ba-da-da, bop, 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 ba-da-da, bop, 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 ba-da. Damn it. And because this whole area is part of the Elemental Evil campaign, I got dropped down to be fighting in the entire area at level 64. Not a big deal. Equipment and everything's still, you know, nerfed to whatever it is. And I'll tell you, these little missions are actually, you know, these little things are kind of tough. Optional side quests. Ooh, I found an enchanted flask. See, that should have like taken them out, yet just wounded them a little. That's craziness. Oh yeah, and even though like the whole map is open, so like other people can be like hopping in and stuff. It's kind of cool. Not that they're even like in your party in a dungeon. You know, I thought this was like a dungeon thing, you know, but it's not. It's just an interactive mission. Saved him. Save that one. Ah! Really? That was enough of them? Because he went down and saved that one. Okay. So, even though they're not like in your party, they can still kind of help you. It's kind of neat. Alright, go back to the map, clear that off. Cultist ambush is one of the next ones. Oops, daisy. Telling me to go this way. And if this map looks familiar, I was told by Grey Haster that a lot of the stuff, what they did was they did copy maps from different areas. So this is like some of the Black Dagger ruins or whatever. And oh yes, the ambush. That's right. Almost forgot what I was doing here. Yeah, this area, I'm like, this area looks awfully familiar, this landscape and whatnot. I was told that they basically had you enter from the opposite direction, and it is like the same maps and stuff in different areas. The Drowned Shore is the Black Dagger Ruins. If I remember correctly, the Black Dagger Ruins. Like, these guys are tough. They must have like damage reduction or something. Yeah. Ambush destroyed. Yay. Yeah, and when you finish those little optional missions, the little thing pops up on the side. Control F to get your rewards. Alright, so clear that off. I don't see any of them going on, so I will follow the main mission. And of course, bad guys came back. But they're not the usual bad guys. Slowing me down. I've been spending so much time doing this that I haven't even thought of like going back to Protector's Enclave to do the Tyranny of Dragons stuff, which I probably should do. You know, you should probably only work on one campaign at a time. Or I should just start with all the Tyranny of Dragon stuff first, because that's only a handful of missions. Then worry about everything else. Not sure how I want to do that from here on out. Especially since I have decided to attempt getting affiliate with Twitch. I figured, you know, I went looking back at all the requirements. Last I checked, I had 45 followers, so I need only 5 more followers, and I got it, you know, because I definitely stream enough. It's just a matter of having an average of 3 viewers, which most of the time I have. But sometimes I don't. So I'm not sure if I'd be getting the invite right away once I hit the 50 or what. But I figured the 5 days out of the week that I stream, once I reach Twitch affiliate, I'll choose 2 days that I'm not going to multi-stream. And I'll just be dedicated, you know, I'll just do Twitch those 2 days and probably end up doing just Sneaky Pants, my Sneaky Pants character, or, you know, I might actually start doing the Division 2 for that. Not sure, I haven't completely decided yet. They watered Archons. There we go. This is what more of these bad guys. Alright. And then the other 3 days I can multi-stream until I reach affiliate on DLive, which is 200 followers, of which I have none. You only have to stream twice in a month, so I definitely got that in spades. Want to work for partner with Mixer and you know, be able to do that, but that's 2,000 followers. It's gonna take a while. But I figure the 3 days that I'm not directly doing Twitch, you know, I'll do the minimum for Twitch once I reach affiliate, and then the other 3 days I'll multi-stream like I do normally. Nothing wrong with that. As far as I know, that should be legit. A heroic encounter. Not sure what it is. Stopping abductions, I guess. Saving the aquatic seals. Sure, there was supposed to be enemies here, but somebody probably came through and killed them all. So Control F to get my reward for that. There's some Archons. A little odd to me that there's water angels. Oh, crabs. Don't like their meat, don't want them on my genitals. Destroy the crabs. Last week I was showcasing my fiance's knitted. I always want to say knitted, and it's crochet. She crochets hats, beanies, slouchy beanies, stuff like that, and she's got an Etsy account. So 3 days last week I was wearing man. 3 different days I wore some of the beanies that she had made for me, and there are others. She's made 5 of them for me of the 7 that I have. 2 of them were made by her mom, one specifically for me and one I grabbed out of a grab bag, because in my mother-in-law's free time she crochets all sorts of stuff. Little teddy bears, little bumblebees, little head wraps which look like headbands with ties at the back of them, beanie skull caps, and she'll usually have a bag of them at like family gatherings and whatnot, around Christmas and Thanksgiving. She'll be like, "Go ahead, guys, just grab what you want. Everybody gets one," type of a thing. So I had grabbed one, this blue one. It was mostly blue with a white stripe, and then blue to finish it. I haven't worn the others yet because they weren't washed since last season. So when I grabbed them, they smelled sweaty. And I'm sorry, I'm not putting a stinky, sweaty hat on my head and wearing it for the next 3 to 4 hours while I'm streaming. So I gotta throw them in the wash, continue showcasing my fiance's work. But on Etsy, she is known as Just Hats, and her shop is called Only Crocheted Hats. That's all she does. That's all she wants to do. The only drawback to that is that she only ships within the US. All of them are free shipping within the US, and they are well worth the price that she's got on them. If it's a solid hat, that's the least price. It's around $20. And all of her fancier designs or multicolors, they go up a little bit more. But all the hats are right now. All of her hats are. She's got 10 of them posted. They're all between $19 and $25. Shipped to you free within a week or so. It takes her 3 to 5 business days to put it in the mail, and then it's first class mail, so it's like 2 to 5 business days after that. So pretty much within the week you'd have your hat if you purchased one. What I do need to do, and I completely forgot to do it before I hopped on here, was to get the URL for it, so you can go like right to her shop and order them and put it into the chat. I would be popping that up. I just gotta get my Mi 6 bot to fucking work. I've got the Mi 6 bot set up. Or is it Mi? Was it Mi 6? Yeah, I got the Mi 6 bot set up for this Discord to pop it up in the multi-stream chat every half hour. All my social media and my different sites and stuff like that. But for some friggin' reason, it's not doing it. Like, it's just being a bitch and not doing it every half hour. And it's pissing me off because I've been on here for 2.5 hours now and it should have popped up at least 5 times. They should have popped up at least 5 times by now, and it hasn't. And that's pissing me off, and I don't know why it's not working. The only thing I can think, wow, these guys are a bit tough. Why are these guys so tough? They're chomping on my ass pretty good. Let me get a little extra. Oh, shit, that's what happens when you pause too long. Yes, thank you very much, Rubik's. Damn, these things are tough. Get me out of the scuffle. Fucking crabs. Down again. Is somebody able to help me? I don't think so. There's nobody around, is there? Oh shit. Yes. Why are these things so fucking... Damn, get out of the way. 2, 1, 0. Another healing potion. Oh, this must be like the rescue the sea elves thing or something, right? That's what it is. That's why they're so fucking tough. Definitely takes some people to do this one, huh? Wow. See what happens when we work together? What the fuck? That was weird. Oh, snap. What the fuck? Somebody? Ooh, just in case time. Not just in time. Damn. That's stankarooey. Can I get back there in time? The hell am I? Oh. Hell no, I'm not getting back there in time. You guys are bastards. Try and avoid the enemies as much as possible so I can just get back there, but those guys probably defeated that thing. Maybe not, that thing was looking pretty fucking tough, man. Pretty fucking tough. But yeah, once I get the URL copied down, I'll be pointing that out. And I gotta figure out why Me6 isn't... I mean, it was saying that they were having some issues with Discord and whatnot, but I was able to connect it to the Discord. to my server, the Hall of Fun. But then it wouldn't let me choose the channel. It was like, there's no data available. So what do you mean there's no data available? It's connected to the server. It says it's connected to the server. There should be, you know, information on the server, like the channels and shit. But it wasn't letting me do it. It wasn't letting me get in there. So that was a bit of a tick off. Hey, there we go, a respawn. See, now that would have saved my ass actually had I stopped there, because I would have ended up there instead of all the way back in that other place. Oh, they're still fighting them. Great! I just gotta get there. Malakastra. Okay, you Archons, there's some more of you guys I can take out. Let's, there's Malakastra. Get out of that way. This fucking crab is huge, man. Ah, shit, more of these crabs coming out? That's crazy pants. This is insane. These fuckers are tough as shit, man. What the fuck? How does he hit? What? All he did was turn around. That's crazy. Somebody get over here and help me. Damn it. That sucks. But at least I'm right here. Alright. Really? I get off my horse when I use an item? That's craziness. Oh, hey. Cool. Fountain of Delights. Did they defeat him? I doubt they defeated him. They ran out of time. That must be what happened. Yeah, see, these crabs are nothing normally. Nothing going on in here. Alright, so it looks like we've done, like I've done what I needed to do down here. I'll head back, get my rewards. Not sure how they defeated it though, because I mean, that thing was so powerful. My horse is slow, my horse is slow. Suck it, horse is slow. Heading back, not getting any flack. Heading back to reap my rewards. That didn't rhyme, Bent. I don't care. Who gives a shite? People do, man. People do. Really?
I greet you on behalf of you are like a mighty wave that waves of archons crash against these elven folk. Save me from the very thing we are looking for.
Let's see.
Well,
Greetings,
Ravenous
You're not
host.
brave to go to sea in ships.
Kill Lacedons.
Slay the thrice
Slay.
times now
Kill
the sea
the
elves
crushing wave
found.
cultist known
But
as Slay
3
the
times he's
Thrice
returned,
Drowned.
stronger than before. There's an aura of death around him. One that is happening. We're not strong enough to
I actually need to step away for a hot moment.
kill this.
I will be right back. Oops. Actually, that was good. Be right back. Just gotta turn on my air conditioner and the fan in the other room. I'll be right back. And I'm back. It's getting pretty warm in here, so. Alright, check out my inventory, sort some stuff. Yeah, we will convert that. Convert that.
I have been chosen to speak for you.
Conversion. Well, 12 of those running around doing those silly missions. Alright, now accept them. And head on out again. Ooh. Okie dokie. Don't need the Archons anymore. Just them Lacedons. I see. Gotta. Really? You had to pull them along, didn't you, there, apprentice healer? Okay, now let's go down into the water and kill some Lacedons. Nice. There's Lacedons over here. There's some Lacedons over there. Five more. Well, I guess I could always stand over here and wait for these guys to come back. Really? The crabs came back before the Lacedons? That sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Okay. Why are you making me go in all sorts of crazy directions? Silly thing. Alrighty, do 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 boom 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 boom. Let's see what to talk about while running around. I don't know. Something, maybe nothing. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Oh wait, no, it's not until the 6th. Damn! Well, I know I've got some Boruto to catch up on tomorrow. I know that. There's at least 1 or 2 episodes I can probably catch up on. Connor's restarted, so we'll have that on the weekend, Friday. Where are you taking me? This roundabout way.
I can
Sea Elf warning buoys from the shore locations marked with ship's wheels at Raven's Cliff Beach and the drowned shore.
Many of my kin have appeared to fight the
Okie
cultists,
dokie.
and many have perished by their hands. I have prepared these magic buoys, which will send out a signal to fellow sea elves, warning them to stay clear of this shore. They are attuned to the
And I know
tides
this
of the
thing's
sea,
gonna come
and
into
if
play
more
at some
people
point
location,
with this whole
they will
elemental
carry
evil
it
thing,
where
you
they
know.
will be most effective. Will you take these down to the shore?
I will do. Hey, Pyro, what's going on? It's been really quiet. Mr. Spork is the only one that chatted, and now you, in the almost 3 hours that I've been on. So, I've got quite a bit done here in the Drowned Shores, part of the Elemental Evil campaign. But yeah, no, it's been a quiet day for viewers. As far as I know, I haven't had too many viewers. I've posted on a number of channels, but other than that, it's been crickets. How are you doing so far? Die! Stink nuggets. And this thing is just taking forever. Just tons and tons of missions. Doing okay. Have some chores to do. Just taking care of business. Gotcha. Yeah, I had some baloney going on at work with detailing the taxis and whatnot. On Sunday, I worked 6 hours, which shouldn't have been a problem, but apparently they were, I don't know what was in their head. It basically takes about an hour to detail each vehicle, and I was there from 6 at night till 12:30, and I had 6 vehicles cleaned and finished. Well, I come in on Monday, and my manager's like, well, were you on the computer in the garage? I was like, yeah, you've seen me before. I listen to and watch people streaming when I'm working. She goes, well, the computer's not for you. You're not supposed to use that. I'm like, okay, I won't use it from now on. And they want to know why it took 6 hours, why you were here from 6 to 12:30, and you only cleaned 6 cars. I'm like, it's about an hour for each car. What are you talking about? And there was 1 or 2 other things that they complained about. And she's like, well, you can't use the computer, and we're sending you home tonight, and you got to call back, and we're going to set your schedule from now on. I'm like, what? My first thought was, well, it better be during hours at which you've got vehicles for me to fucking clean. You know? Because the whole reason why I originally set up my schedule from 5 to 10, 5 days a week. And I'd get there at 5 and I'd start cleaning a vehicle, and because we had so many down, like I'd get done vacuuming, and they're like, oh, this driver needs this vehicle. So, you know, I didn't get to fully clean it. I still marked it down on my sheet. I got this whole record sheet, you know, the vehicle number, whether the date, and my signature. The original sheet had the car vehicle, wash, interior, date, and my signature. So I could more fully tell them what I was doing. So if all I did get to do was the interior, I'd mark, you know, if I only vacuumed it, I'd put vacuum in the interior. If I did the vacuuming, wiped down the door jambs, and cleaned the windows, I'd just check off interior. And if I washed it, I'd check off washed it. Because you can't always, you know, if it's raining, you can't wash the vehicles, so, you know. But, so they complained about, you know, it taking me so long and only did 6 vehicles. And I'm just like flabbergasted, like, what is the problem here with that? And then I got thinking about it. They probably looked at my paperwork and saw that there were multiple days where I only worked 4 hours and got like 5 or 6 cars done. But with the new sheet not saying whether I washed it or not, they have no idea what I did. So when I called yesterday to get my schedule for today, and I guess I got to call tomorrow or Friday for my... I don't know if it's all going to be written out when I get there tomorrow or not, but... I called her yesterday. I was like, so what's going on? What's the schedule? She goes, well, they've got you for 5:30 to 9:30 tomorrow, being today. Yeah, they want to keep better track of my hours. They are penny pinching motherfuckers. And it's all because they own 3 companies. And the company I work for is the biggest of the 3. And it was their second acquisition. Their baby is the one that's dying. They pay their drive. They only work from 9 to 9, Monday through Friday. That's the only hours that it's open. Yeah, they are penny pinchers. And so Monday through Friday, their baby company is only from 9 to 9. And on the weekends, it's like 9 to 5. Their drivers get paid by the hour. So come 4 o'clock, well, on the weekends, come 4 o'clock, all they want to do is go to the office and end their day. There's no incentive for them to finish their shift and take calls. So our dispatchers, who are usually dispatching for them on the weekends because they don't want to pay somebody else to dispatch, which is ridiculous, it's in a different county. So, you know, they move the calls and everything around. Did I do all the beacons? No, I didn't do all the beacons. Where's the other? Okay, so it's bringing me to the other beacon, I guess. Basically, their guys get paid by the hour. So, if it takes them a half hour to get from where they are to the office, they don't accept calls. The dispatcher will be like, hey, we got this call for you. Oh no, I'm on my way to the office. What? Your job, your shift ends at 5, motherfucker. You will take calls up until 5 o'clock, but they don't enforce it, which is ridiculous. Our company, the drivers get paid on a commission. So if 5 minutes before you're supposed to go home, the dispatcher says, hey, we got this 20-minute call for you, they're going to be like, hell yeah, I'll take it. Unless they've got it somewhere to be. You know, if they got like prior, you know, obligations, they'll be like, no, I can't take it today. And the company I work for actually has enough drivers that it's okay to pass them on. Their baby company only has like 2 or 3 drivers on at any given point. So if they don't want to take a call, the company doesn't make money. And their third company is strictly medical. So, you know, these guys are probably also getting paid by the hour and not by commission, but because it's a medical contract that they've got or whatever, it's not a big deal. I don't know about the third one. But I seriously believe that these guys are taking profits from the company I work for. They're taking the profits from that because we've got a multi-million-dollar medical contract. We do medical calls and cash calls. So with that, the company's just making money hand over fist. And if our drivers, since our drivers are being paid by commission, it's 50% commission. But, you know, the company doesn't lose anything. We're not losing money by paying our drivers a commission. And we have enough drivers, we run 24/7, that there's always somebody to cover a call if somebody can't take that last call 15 minutes, 5 minutes before the end of their shift. Whereas their baby company, so they're taking the profits from our company and covering everything like their payroll and whatnot. They're keeping the other company afloat. And because that they are sinking our profits into the other company, they got to watch every friggin' penny. And they're, in the beginning, it felt like when they acquired us, we felt like the redheaded stepchild. We were being abused. Used and abused. Well, now that they've had us for 2 years, the dispatchers and the drivers feel like we're the redneck wife. We get beat and we believe it's our fault. They're constantly telling us this and that, oh, blah, 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 and it's like, what? That's not our fault. But we got to take it. And that's what's pissing me off. So what they don't realize is they looked at my paperwork, because I keep track of each day and the vehicles that I've cleaned. So they're seeing that, I came in for 4 hours one day and I got 5 cars done. But what they're not seeing is that I only got to vacuum 2 of them. Redneck. It's so true though. The redneck wife, she gets beat by her husband and thinks it's her fault. The redheaded stepchild just gets used and abused because he's a stepchild. Not you. But I mean, it's just. So when that happened yesterday, on Monday, and I called up yesterday to see what my hours would be, she told me 5:30 to 9:30. I'm like, that's 4 hours. That's only 20 hours a week. She goes, well, I'll talk to them about that and see what they say. And I said, well, I also want to put it on the record that if they're looking at my past paperwork, they got to understand that when I get more than, if I work 4 hours and I do more than 4 vehicles, that's because I only vacuumed 1 or 2 inside because they had to go out because the other vehicles were down. If vehicles are down for days and days, I can only clean them once. Because if they're not being driven, they're not getting dirty, So it's time for me to go. Plus winter's coming. I'm not going to be able to wash the cars outside in the winter. Are you fucking nuts? I'll be able to bring them into the garage. I'll be able to clean them out, but I won't be able to wash them. And washing the vehicle is 20 minutes of my time on each vehicle. That's a major chunk. So I'm just going to be getting screwed on my time and hours. So it's getting to the point where it's not worth it for me. And I'm not making any money yet from donations. I haven't made affiliate yet, so I don't have subscribers, so I gotta find something. I gotta do something. I'm not gonna stop streaming, but I got it in the works already. I started looking up those delivery apps like Uber Eats and DoorDash and stuff like that. I have a 1994 Toyota Camry. I am not eligible for Uber Eats or Uber. To drive for Uber, you have to have a 2004 or newer. And for Uber Eats, you need a 99 or newer. So that went out the window. Ooh, claim my reward for this. Yes. Yeah, got to do that, do this. Yeah. So far, all of these are in like the drowned shore. This thing takes for a while. It's crazy. So Uber Eats, you need a 99 or newer, and I'm a 94, so they just basically told me flat out, no, but we can help you get a car. Really? How are you going to help me get a car if I can't work for you? Oh, we can give you special rates and stuff like that and work with companies. Are you going to let me drive with my old car? But, so I signed up for DoorDash, which they had to do a background check, and because there's an accident with injury on my driving record, which is a load of shit, they may not accept me. But I've already got, what was it? Postmates is sending me their setup, and Instacart. Postmates is like Uber Eats and like DoorDash, where people say, "Oh, go pick this up and have it delivered." It could be food and whatnot. but I think Postmates is also like dry cleaning and things like that. You're more like an assistant, so you get paid per job and whatnot. And Instacart is where you get to go grocery shopping for people. Yeah, Postmates is I think a fairly new one, but it's out there. They accepted me. They didn't want to know what kind of car or whatever. They just wanted to know how I do it, and agree that I'd have all the information and whatnot that I needed. If they ask for it, I have to produce it, but otherwise it wasn't part of like the sign up. So now I'm waiting for the prepaid card and food bag, I think, that they've got, like one of those thermal bags. So that's coming in the mail, and Instacart also has like the same kind of a thing where they got a prepaid card that they send to you. So within the next week, yeah, the DoorDash thing, they did the background check, and because that I had 3 speeding tickets last year that got dropped down to failure to obey traffic device. Those 3 came up, and then the accident with injury. The accident with injury is such a crock of crap. When I was driving cab, crushing gar, scatter sheet, enter the water node at Ravencliff. Alright, so I'm not sure where that is, but it's 108. Okay. I was driving this methadone clinic patient in my vehicle. A few of them, because I was part of the what we called Barbarossa's. It's where the methadone clinic was. It's on that road. But we pick them up, we drop them off, we go get others, we drop them off, and then when they're done with getting their doses and whatnot, we bring them back home. Well, I had dropped this one girl off, and she left her cell phone in the vehicle. I'm at a stop sign waiting to get back on the highway, and we hear the phone ringing. Well, I answer the phone and go, okay, I'll bring it right back to you. I'm right on a corner next to a parking lot, so I'm thinking I can just cut the wheel, back up into the parking lot, and turn around. I look in my mirrors, and I don't see a fucking vehicle behind me. So I put it in reverse, and I start backing up. Within a moment, I hear, burr, burr, bonk. I'm like, oh, great. I actually backed into a person that was stopped behind me. All of 1.5 feet to 2 feet. So it was like how fast can you actually get just backing up, there was like nothing. I get out, I immediately ask my customer, are you okay? Because she's pregnant. She's like 8 months pregnant. I'm like, are you okay? She goes, yeah, I'm fine, no problem. There wasn't much of a bump or anything, like I barely felt it. I'm like, okay, good. So I get out, I check the other vehicle. This woman's all upset. She's like, oh my God, you bumped my car. Didn't you see me? I said, lady, you were up my butt so far, I could not see you. I'm in a van. I'm in a minivan, and she's in like this little Volkswagen station wagon or something. This little, whatever it was. Passat maybe, I don't know. But she's all upset. She's like, I'm late for my doctor's appointment. It's taken me months to get this doctor's appointment. And I'm like, ma'am, I'm sorry, I'm in an accident, I'm in a cab, I have to call the police and have an incident report done. She's like, oh, no, I don't have time for this. So we had to wait 45 minutes for the police to show up. And in that time, I had asked that girl multiple times, my customer, are you okay? Do you need an ambulance? Do you want to go to the hospital? No, I'm fine. So as soon as she realizes that the cops are coming, she calls her dad. And by the time the police show up, her dad told her, hey, take an ambulance to the hospital. So she's like, oh, you know what? Now I'm starting to feel a little pain or something, and I talked with my dad, and he says I should go to the hospital. So I need the ambulance. So we wait another half hour for an ambulance to show up. They talk to her, and they take her to the emergency room. The cop fills out the report. The woman doesn't want to press charges that I bumped into. She's just, she's just mad that she had to cancel her doctor's appointment. I get that. but there was no damage. There was barely scratches on either bumper. All we did was like brush dirt. You know, like you could see where they touched, but that was it. You know, because there was dirt missing on the bumpers. And so I'm figuring, you know, nothing's gonna come of this. We're all good. So I hope this young woman is okay with the baby and everything. Well, lo and behold, the very next day, I pick her up, and I'm like, so, what happened at the hospital? She's like, nothing, everything's fine. You know, I was there for 2 hours, they released me, I'm perfectly fine. Like, oh, that's good, I'm so glad. 2 days later, she's telling everybody else at the clinic that when she went to the emergency room, she was going into labor. The doctors had to do everything they could to stop the labor. They gave her these shots and injections and whatnot, and they stopped the labor. Thinking, you can't stop labor. As far as I know, there are no shots or injections that can stop labor. If you're going into labor from trauma or because it's time, you're going into labor. And she didn't. You know, the very next day she said she was fine, and then she's lying to everybody else days later. 2 weeks later, I get certified letters in the mail from a lawyer saying that she's pressing charges because she had serious injury. Like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. Now, a little background on her and her family. She is a pill popper. I see her every fucking day selling pills and whatnot to everybody else in the cab. Her parents are crackheads, literally. Like, no joke, they're crackheads. That's part of the reason why she's a pill popper. And they have a history, they have a history of claiming injury lawsuits. None of them have gone anywhere. They all get debunked by the lawyers and whatnot. So here I see this, I contact my boss, I'm like, look, I got this letter, and she's like, don't worry about it, the lawyers are handling it. I never hear anything from it. You know, we stopped taking that particular young lady. She's all upset. Why aren't you taking me in the cab anymore? We got a conflict of interest. You're suing us. Oh, okay, I get it. You know, duh. You sue a company that takes you somewhere. We're gonna continue taking you? I don't think so. I do not want to do this particular encounter. Oh wait, yeah, saving the sea elves. No, I don't want to do this. This is crazy. I'm gonna get killed. So, you know, I come to find out that, yeah, just kill me, because I can't get away from you guys now. A few weeks later, I get another letter stating that I'm supposed to go see these lawyers and give a statement and whatnot. And my boss tells me, don't worry about it. If you need to do anything, we will tell you. I'm like, okay. And they're like, just give us the paperwork. Whenever you get something in the mail, just bring it to us. We'll take care of it. Months go by, nothing happens. Then all of a sudden, I get this guy knocking on my door, and he hands me basically a subpoena. It was kind of like a subpoena. I think it was more of a summons to go to this lawyer's office and give them all these answers and whatnot. So I give that to my boss, and she's like, ignore that. If you have to do anything, we'll let you know, because she decided to go, our lawyers got the first charges dropped based on the fact that she's got like a dozen or more of these injury cases that were bupkis. They're bullshit. She cries wolf, you know, something happens, she cries wolf, and they're just looking for money, you know. So this is it gets dropped. We're all set, we're all done and whatnot, and so I get this other one, and she's like, yeah, she went to another lawyer and tried pressing charges a second time on the same thing, even though the first one got dropped. So with DoorDash having that show up, I get the email And they're like, if any of this stuff on your background check is false or whatever, please contact us. So I sent them a nicely worded thing stating what had happened, that I drove a medical taxi for a methadone patient who has a history of false allegations. I backed up 2 feet into a stopped vehicle from a stopped position, and she claimed 45 minutes later when the police showed up that she was injured after talking to her father. The charges were dropped, and then she tried suing us a second time with a different lawyer, and that got dropped. So while the other 3 tickets I take full responsibility for and are genuine, the failure to follow traffic device, this accident with injury should not be on my record and should not, please don't let it affect my ability to be hired, to work with you. So I sent that in, and hopefully that will be enough to actually keep me in the loop, I hope. But I figure between those 3 companies I can probably work enough during the day. I'm going to have to change my schedule for streaming. Definitely I'll be streaming in the evenings instead of the daytime. But that's fine. That's fine with me. Whatever I gotta do to make money and pay my bills is what I'm gonna have to do, you know? Gotta pay the bills. But, yeah. Well, you know, pills are expensive, especially when you're buying them off of other pill poppers. You know, I found out very quickly that methadone, while keeping people from getting high off of opiates, mixes crazily with other drugs. So if you're on methadone and you start popping Xanax and Percocets and stuff, you will get so fucking high and blitzed out of your mind, and that's all these people are doing. They're like, okay, yeah, I'm off of heroin, I'm off of, you know, any other opiate, these pills that the doctor, a lot of people are there because of pills the doctor prescribed them and they got addicted to. And others are there because they were heroin addicts. You know, you can very easily see and tell who are the ones in recovery very quickly and who are not. Who are the high chasers, the pill poppers, and whatnot. And she's definitely one of them. So it's kind of disgusting that we actually take care of some of these people, but I guess it's better than them being on the streets scoring dope and shooting up and whatnot. But still, I mean, it's crazy. You know, for the unfortunates that had major accidents and were prescribed opiate painkillers and got addicted, I feel for them. It's not their fault. Doctors 20 years ago and even 10 years ago didn't have to warn you, oh, hey, these are highly addictive. You know, and they just like, oh, well, your pain is gone, so we're gonna take you off these drugs. And there's no rehab or weaning off, so they've been addicted, and now all of a sudden they've got nothing. So what do? They start buying the pills from other people illegally. Or if they can't do that, they start snorting or shooting up heroin to get that I feel nothing, you know, relief. It's fucked up. And so they get on the methadone clinic, and methadone stops the sickness, the opiate sickness, and while it's in your system, you cannot get high off of an opiate. Unless, so here's your level of the methadone, and you take this much heroin, you're not going to get high. You take this much heroin, you're not going to get high. You take this much heroin, now you're going to get high. And some people do it. But now you've got the methadone in your system and this much heroin, you're chancing killing yourself, overdosing. And people do it with pills all the time. That's why we've got this fucking opiate epidemic going on. I've been able to see a lot of it firsthand. In the 6 years that I was driving cab, and bringing these medical people back and forth. I know of like 6 people who died of overdoses because they were waiting to get on the methadone list, or they went into rehab and they came out and they overdosed. You know, yeah, that it's crazy. You know, I'm glad I never got into any of those heavy, hard drugs. I mean, I'm happy with my marijuana and my mushrooms very occasionally. It's been years since I've done any mushrooms, but I've tried them a few times. They are fun. And back in my early 20s, I did a lot of acid. I think in the 2 years that I had experimented with LSD, I had taken over 28 paper hits, which is quite a bit. You know, I was doing it like twice a month if I could, and, you know, on the weekends or whatever, between 20 and 23, around that era. I'm now 44. I have not touched it since I stopped. I ended up, I got so fucking blitzed off of this one hit of LSD one time that I was left on the corner by my friends because I would not move, and the police picked me up. I ended up brought to the emergency room. I was sedated and strapped to a hospital bed and all this shit. It was crazy. I spent 10 hours in an emergency room hospital bed tripping balls. I remember some of it, and it was crazy. That I never did acid after that. I stopped doing it after that. I have not touched it since. But I have done mushrooms 2 or 3 times since then, which is much better, much cleaner, much safer, because it's a natural thing. It's not some fucking chemical. I'm not an advocate of it, you know. I'm not gonna say, hey, yeah, you want to see, do this. No. But if you're going to do a psychedelic, mushrooms is the way. Don't touch the acid. Marijuana, you know, it's legal in some states, it's not legal in some states, it's medically legal. I love it. It helps me with my back pain. It helps calm me. Yeah, there's a lot of good things about marijuana. But since I've been working part-time, I haven't had any. It's not like I'm gonna go out and rob somebody to go get a dime bag. You know, that's not how it works. Whereas if I was a cokehead or a crackhead, there you go. I mean, they are illegal everywhere, but they can be. They can be fun. And, you know, you're gonna be tripping for 8 to 10 hours, but there's things that you can do, like eating food and whatnot, to calm things down, unlike acid. You take your acid, and for the next 8 to 12 hours, you're gonna be tripping balls, and there's nothing you can do about it. Not a damn thing. And that's one of the reasons why I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that shit anymore, you know? I had my marijuana hookup, keeping her eye out for mushrooms, and she forgot to tell me. A friend of mine that uses her too. He was like, yeah, man, she got some. I'm like, what? And then I contact her, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, it's all gone. They went quick. I'm like, damn it! But it's not like I had the time to do them recently. You know, I was working full time and everything. I do it on my day off, but those are the days that I'm with my lady. And there's no way her sober ass is gonna be able to deal with me. She has no experience with them, with any of it. You know, she wouldn't be able to talk me down if I started to like go off weirdly or anything. It'd probably bug her out more than it would me. But he says micro doses with mushrooms was helping him very small. Yeah, you know, I mean, you don't have to take a lot. You know, you take enough to get certain effects and whatnot. You don't have to trip. You know, you take a small amount, and like the psilocybins and whatnot can do other things. You know. From what I understand, I think they've been experimenting with that with seizures and stuff too, and certain personality disorders. Mushrooms being able to help. There was also something I read recently about them doing research on, I think, magic mushrooms resetting depression. Like, but it's under, like, being watched by a doctor or whatever, you know. They give you a certain amount and you have your little experience, and when you're done, it's supposed to help people get out of depression. So, I mean, what's wrong with that? Under, you know, the right circumstances, just about any natural thing can be a good thing, you know? Abuse is abuse. Anything can be abused. Alcohol, food, you know, you drink way too much water, you can die from overhydration. It's crazy. Too much pure oxygen can fuck you up and kill you if you have too much of it, because plus it's flammable. So there's a lot of shit out there that is good. And coalesced seed of water. The thing over here that I gotta do. Hey, yes! Ooh, is that... Yeah, that's crazy, right? Too much water can actually kill you. You can overhydrate and kill you, and it can kill you. People who do ecstasy can actually kill themselves by drinking too much water. I was watching it on, I think it was an NCIS episode. This guy had been way overhydrated. Somebody had put way too much MDMA into his system. They like tainted him with it or whatever, and he was just drinking. He couldn't drink enough, and it overhydrated him to the point of his organs couldn't work. It stopped his heart and shit and whatnot. It's an extreme case, but it can be done. It's crazy. Go to Protector's Enclave. Does that mean I'm actually done with this area? I got the seed. So, let's see, are there any of... excuse me. Yeah, I don't see any of the aquatic elf abduction. I'm not going to run back there for that. And I'm not going to make it to that one. And I can't even... Pillaging the pillagers. The bridge is broken here. You can't get to it. So I don't know what the frag is going on with that. But, damn. So, let's just head on back. No, if I could afford it, I used to smoke flower, like, all the time. I would go through a quarter ounce a week. Get up in the morning, as long as I wasn't going right to work, I'd take a couple of hits off my bong. It'd be cool, you know, and go about my day. And, come home from work, and I'd use that to relax, because my family has, my mom's side of the family has a history of anxiety, where, like, you know, when I used to work for Domino's, I'd get so hyped up from the constant go of delivering pizzas and making pizzas and stuff. When I came home, it took me an hour, without pot, it took me an hour and a half to 2 hours just to be able to relax and calm down. Side effect of anxiety. So, you know, I'd come home from work, smoke a joint, smoke a blunt with my friends, you know. That was when I had roommates and whatnot that did that. Since the past 11 years with my fiance, I really don't hang out with my friends and do that anymore. I'd come home, we'd have a cup of tea or an alcoholic beverage on the porch when I got home. I'd take a few hits off the bong, and everything was cool, you know. Then I had access to the oil cartridges. That is so much better. I mean, vaping pot is so much better than smoking pot. there is my battery's gonna die. The health risks are less with vaping as long as it's, you know, real stuff, not any of this tainted shit that's been going around lately because you got it off a black market and people are trying to put acetate in it instead of, you know, vegetable oil or whatever the other solvents are. But properly, you know, that's why they should be properly regulated. But, you know, you take 2 vapes off of a cartridge and it's like smoking a blunt to your head. It's nice. And it's, you know, not necessarily cheaper, but it's comparable in price whether you're doing this or doing the one or the other. Comes in all the different flavor strains and whatnot. And the nice thing about the cartridges is that it says what it is. It usually tells you whether it's an indica, a sativa, a hybrid. It tells you the percentages, or there's websites that you can look up like Leafly. That's a great website, Leafly. But the cartridges are just better because there's no plant particulates, there's no ash. You know, you're not inhaling all of this extra crap. It's just the THC and whatever plant-based solvent is in there to make it more of a more readily vaporable oil. Smoked a dab through a water pipe once and it wrecked me. Yeah. Dab, that's just like the dab shit. That's concentrated. I haven't had a chance to try any of the dab oils, you know, the wax. Though I've seen people like stream it and whatnot, and like videos on Twitter and stuff where they're like, you gotta heat up a fucking nail. Okay, you gotta take a torch, heat up a nail, and stick that shit in there. I'm like, what? Okay. No thanks. But yeah, it's much more concentrated. You don't need as much, you know. And then there's edibles. I've tried edibles a few times, and I don't know. I didn't feel like I was like stuck in the couch or fucked up or anything. So I'm white hot titanium nail. There you go. I'm on the fence with edibles. Now, when it comes to CBD edibles, they probably work. I haven't tried them. They're too fucking expensive. You get like 5 or 6 gummies in a package for $30 in my area, you know, where you can buy them legally, and it's like you got to eat the whole fucking bag in order to get the pain relief that you need. Where the thing that they don't tell you is that CBD works best when mixed with THC. CBD by itself will work as a pain reliever, but it works better when you also have THC in your system with it. So you're just eating the CBD gummies or lollipops and whatnot, you'll have some pain relief, but you're better off actually just getting actual THC, CBD, you know, just real pot gummies. You know, you're just better off. But, you know, some people it works really well, and some people it doesn't work as well. But yeah, that they are expensive just for the CBD. Now, I've seen the gram cartridges of CBD, and they're about the same price as a THC cartridge. Anywhere from $30 to $50 for a gram of that. Now, if you're only using it when you need it, a couple times a day or once or twice a day, it should last you a week or two. So that's not too bad. But me, when I was before I stopped driving and I was working part-time as cleaning, I was able to have 1 gram cartridge last me a week to a week and a half, with me vaping in the morning, vaping in the afternoon, vaping. I'd probably vape like 3 times in a day, because 1, driving messes with my back. I've got the bad disc in my neck right where the shoulders and neck meet between the C5 and C6, and there's compression between the C6 and C7. So, when you're driving like this all day, it causes a lot of tension. And believe me, driving cab is a bit stressful. So, there is all of that. So I would, get up in the morning, vape a little bit, hours later go to work, come home, vape a little bit, and after dinner do it again. And I found that indicas and indica hybrids always made me snore, which was bad for my fiance because then she couldn't sleep. So I started experimenting with the sativas, and that there's little to no snoring when I've got sativa in my system. So that's a lot better. I've only got one adventurer or two, I don't remember. I think I should have two adventurers. Not sure what I should be going for to be making. But yeah, it's... I'll sing praises of marijuana. I am an advocate for pot. If everybody got stoned, there wouldn't be all the problems in the world that we've got. So says me. But who am I? I'm just a guy. Cotton yarn. Why are you telling me? Because he's already making the linen yarn. That's why. Oh yeah, the guy with the rag paper. Isn't that the artificer? Yes. The other guy was supposed to be doing the ash logs. The ash lumber, wasn't it? Because that's... Oh, I don't know. Remember what I need here. Bronze ingots. Copper ingots. Got the leather +1, but that's not the deer leather, is it? Alright. Wow, there's a whole bunch of crap here that Alrighty. You might as well just keep making... So we gotta get you up there, so... You just make this stuff and get up to level 15, 16, okay? Yeah, you see what you can do. I'm fine with that. We're done here. Marijuana is good. I used to joke around and say it keeps me from killing motherfuckers. But as I got older, it got better and better at pain and tension relief, stress relief. Yeah, there's other things that you can do to relieve stress and whatnot. But those things usually don't work on like muscle tension and bad disc compression and shit like that. Sex relieves tension and stress, but it also puts pressure on bad discs. So I'm not saying I'm not having sex. I do have sex because it's good, but it's not like you're having it all day every day to relieve stress. The will is strong, the flesh is weak. Weak and squishy. Never did coke, never wanted to do coke. I've watched friends do lines of coke, and it just doesn't look like something I wanted to do. I've had many offers, never wanted to do it. I have no problem going to the doctor and have them sticking needles in my arm for a shot or to take blood. No problem with that. But the idea of melting down crystals in a cotton swab on a spoon and injecting it into my veins to get high... I cringe at that thought. I don't want to snort stuff. Now, you can snort heroin, from what I understand. You watch the movie Gia. You'll learn all about it. But it was... No. And I don't want to do all these pharmaceuticals and shit, so that's... I've watched some of these dudes zooted out of their mind on taking too many
The cult of the dragon.
Xanax and shit like that. I watched this dude lose a whole 2 weeks of his life because he didn't know what the fuck was going on. He Pulp Fiction, yes. Yep. She thought it was cocaine. I had, years ago when I worked for Domino's Pizza, I mean, all the drivers smoked, our manager smoked, he sold pot, so it was like, during the job and whatnot, in my mid to late 20s, we'd show up, we'd get everything set up, we'd smoke in between runs and whatnot, you know. But the one time, wow, I had a taste of opium. He brought in his bowl, we started hitting on it, and I'm like, dude, why does this taste like incense? And he's like, oh shit, I forgot to warn you guys. Over the weekend I had opium and I smoked it in this pipe. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? That's something you should tell people, you know? But it's just, it tastes like incense when it's in, it's like, and all there was just residue in this bowl. So like 10 minutes later, 10 minutes later, I'm on a delivery and I'm bringing it up to the people and I'm giving it to them. I just got this perma-grin on my face. Like, I'm functioning okay. I'm able to give them their change. I'm able to talk to them and whatnot, but I just could not stop smiling. And I get back and I'm like, dude, this stuff is nice. I'm so happy and carefree. So every time I came back, it's like, let's take another hit, let's take another hit. By the end of the night, I realized what was going on. You ever see Wyatt Earp with the Cowboys, the Cowboy Gang? The gang they called themselves the Cowboys. They wore the red sashes and whatnot. The leader of the Cowboys was in the opium tent, and he takes that hit, and he comes walking out into the middle of the town, and he's just like, starts shooting off into the sky. Yeah. I know what he felt, and I only had a taste of it. By the end of the night, that turned me, that realization turned me off so much that I was just like, I like this too much to ever want to try that again, or the real thing. I'm just like, there's no way that I would not get addicted to that. And that was it felt great. I was in no pain. I was happy and light. And it scared me when I went, wow, no thank you. And I got talking with some of the guys from the clinic when I used to drive them around. I got chummy with a few guys and some of the girls. You know, we got very friendly, talked about stuff. You know, the ones who are in recovery talk about stuff and own it. They own their mistakes. You know, they like to explain how this works and that works. Whereas the people who are not in recovery, they're just there to chase a high or get a different legal high. They don't really talk about it. They'll brag about, you know, this and that and stuff. You know, they'll brag about their parties. They'll brag about that. They don't really discuss it. And I found out that basically the poppy plant, when the flower comes off, the bulb or whatever that's underneath, all you got to do is just cut into it, and the white pasty ooze that comes out, that is black tar heroin. That's just straight. I always thought that heroin was refined from the poppy seeds. I found out that is not the case. Poppy seeds do have a trace amount of heroin in them because they come from the poppy plant, but you would need like this room full of poppy seeds to be cooked down just to get something to get a buzz off of. It is the ichor that comes out of the plant itself that is the heroin. So we got the black tar heroin, and then that gets refined down to whatever the cleaner grade of that is, and then that gets cleaned down to make morphine. I always thought that, they took poppy seeds, they like cocaine, you take the cocaine plant, you crush it up, you throw lye into it, and the lye extracts the cocaine from the plant, and then you wash the lye out of it, and you've got crystallized cocaine left. Ugh. That's kind of scary. I always thought heroin was a similar process, but it's not. I found this out, and I'm like, wow. So, and LSD, I don't know what that's made of. I don't know how it's made. I know it's made in a lab similar to crystal meth, but not like crystal meth. But they make it in a lab. It's a bunch of chemicals put together and cooked down to make something. Like crystal meth. It's when you know how things are made, it kind of scares you. Yes. Stay away from man-made drugs. They're bad. And being of Christian background, I believe that when in Genesis, one of the first pages, I think it's in Genesis, and it's in the beginning. It says, "I give you all the seed-bearing plants and trees to use for food and clothing." That is in all the Bibles. Every version of the Bible, that is in there. Marijuana is a plant that is seed-bearing, and the male version can be turned into clothing materials, and you can cook with marijuana, thus the edibles. So as long as you're not abusing it, because even Jesus and the apostles drank alcohol. It's okay to drink alcohol, but in moderation. Don't be a drunk. That's when you're abusing the rules, So I can very much see marijuana being an acceptable use in Christian faith. And as far as I know, I want to say Islam allows for the use of marijuana. Possibly opium, too, because it's from a seed-bearing plant. But don't quote me on the opium thing. Somebody was telling me that it was okay in one of those. I know Judaism is against all of it. Christianity, people who don't understand the writings of the Bible and whatnot, drugs are bad, it's a sin. You really need to read it yourself. If you believe it, read it yourself, pray for wisdom beforehand, and you'll be able to read between the lines what things are literal and what things are metaphorical. Because not everything in there. Yeah, wine was, because they didn't know it at the time, but that fermentation process killed a lot of germs, whereas water could be contaminated. Yes, absolutely. That's why it's healthier to drink alcohol and beer in Mexico than it is the water. Yes. So yeah, in moderation, alcohol and marijuana are perfectly within the rights of Christianity, Christian faith, I believe. Whereas when you start getting into cutting open the opium plants and draining out the ichor, I'm not thinking that that's part of it, because you're refining it somehow. You're not just taking the plant and doing this with it. Marijuana and mushrooms are the only two drugs that you take out of the ground, you dry, and then you smoke it. Now, extracting the THC and the trichomes and stuff, that is a bit of refinement, but it doesn't take a chemical process to do. It's a matter of putting it in water. You grind it up, you bake it. Actually, first you bake it because it needs to be heated. They bake it, then you grind it up, you put it in water with fat like butter, and you boil it. the THC goes to the fat, which is the butter, and then you let it congeal, and the butter's got all the THC in it, and there you go. You put it in your food. You're not refining it with chemicals or anything. It's a fairly natural process, a fairly clean process, I should say. Unlike everything else, mushrooms, you just dry them off. There you go. Some historians think the burning bush was possibly acacia, which has high DMT, like ayahuasca. Oh, ayahuasca. That could be. I didn't know acacia plant was, when burned, had a euphoric-like effect. Never knew that. That could be. That could very well be. He was seeing things. Ah, that is interesting. The things you know, or find out, you know? Let's see. It's going for 2 o'clock. I am well past the 1 o'clock time. I'm sure Lily's going to be coming home very soon. And I'm basically at a point where I can stop my stream here. Are you going to be hopping on anytime soon there, Pyro? Or are you already streaming? Actually, I can easily find out by looking. Ha 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 ha. So I was thinking maybe a raid. Oh, I got 2 people watching on Twitch. How many am I being hosted by? Let's see. 12 channels. Wow, there's 21 channels hosting me right now. Woohoo! If you liked what you saw, please hop on my channel and give a follow. Last I checked, I only needed 5 more people to reach 50. And that's pretty much what I need for affiliate. If I can reach affiliate, I will be so happy. I'll have to change my schedule to specifically stream just for Twitch 2 days of the week, but that's fine. Let's see here. Pyro is not streaming right yet. Grey Haster is. Zesty Tuna, CJ the Bros. Rose Loveless has stopped raids, so he plays Dungeons and Dragons Online. Jakazin is playing Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, okay, so you're not. I see that now. You're not today. Alrighty. Let's see. Who shall I? Well, let's see. How many users are in the chat? Quite a few. Alright. That's a name I haven't seen before. Welcome, Cycle Motion. Everybody else, it's like the usual suspects up in there. You know who you are. Not trying to call you out there, Cycle. Just mentioning that you were there, you know. Nobody's obligated to chat or say anything. That's fine. Having chat is good. It helps me engage people, so I'm not just talking and singing to myself while I play a video game, but, you know, it helps. But by no means should anybody feel like they have to or whatever. Hey, hey! Blood Trail Twitch Global. There we go. So let's see. Who shall I raid? Grey Haster playing Neverwinter. Zesty Tuna's playing Overwatch. CJ the Bros is playing Fortnite. I think we'll go with Grey Haster. Grey Haster is part of Stream Team Neverwinter, if I remember correctly. So, and he's a actual good friend of Ranger Reek, somebody that I follow and enjoy watching. Now that I can't use the computer at work, I won't be able to. That really sucks. But yeah, I think that's who I'm going to raid. Let's see. Spell it correctly? No, I didn't do it right. Let me see here. Why didn't that? Oh, maybe he doesn't allow raids? I spelt it right. Greagreyhastur. Let's try that again. There we go. I didn't put 2 spaces. Alright, so I will stop recording and we will send the raid now. Peace out, everybody.
Probably Fearbringers. Or Terror Grips.